she is nice and snug in her sleeping bag. Almost time to get up. Hey, let's make the sleeping bag. We're going to take the longest green cord here, long piece. Find the center. Put that right in the middle. Make a little cross as our base. We're going to take another piece of cord and fold it in half. Find the center. Put it over the middle, the loop over the middle. Pull the cord ends through and up through the loop. And then you pull that tight, like so. And there's the lark head's knot. I'm going to do the same thing again with another cord. Take the cord, fold it in half, find the loop, put it over the cord, take the ends, put it underneath, and then pull the ends up and through like that, and then pull tight, push this together like that. Okay, now we're going to leave a little bit of space between each lark head's knot, just slight one, like a 1/4 inch, just a tiny bit of space. All right, let's add the rest of the cords. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cords hanging down with the lark head's knot here, with a little bit of space in between. It's about 6 inches. We're going to, when we're done with this pattern, it's going to be folded in half, so it's about 3 inches wide for the sleeping bag. So let's get started. This is a super beginner sleeping bag. We're going to take the first 2 cords and then tie it over and around, and just a quick little over and around. That's it, just like starting a shoe. And then we want to leave a little bit, we don't want to make it super tight. See how there's just a little bit space here? Let's leave that just like that. And then the next 2 cords, the same thing, all the way across, over and around, and pull. Leave it a little loose, just slightly loose like the other one, like so. Hang the cords down, and we're going to do that across. Okay, the first line is done. You can see how these all look the same. If one looks a little off, you can just undo that and then do it again. So for the next line, we're going to skip the first cord and do exactly the same thing across. So we're going to take cord 2 and 3 and go take the left, go over the right, under, and pull. That's it. And then up, and then you see how we're going to make sure this is below the first row. And you can see how this comes up and over, just like the cords up here came up and over. And if it doesn't, you might have just twisted it. We might have went up and over the wrong way. So you can undo it and do that again. So you take the left, go over the right, and under, and up, and pull. See how that's starting to form a pattern? See that? You want to pull super tight or it'll be off. And then the next 2, under and over and pull. See how I also taped this base cord down so it's easier. You can do that. All right, next 2, left over right, under and pull. And we can see if you do over tight, you can just put your finger in there, loosen it up, pull the cords down slightly so you can see if they're all lining up. It's a little tight. there, next two, left over right, under, and pull, next two, left over right, under, and pull, and get into a nice flow. Next two, and pull. Now, the last cord will be kept free, like so. So this is an alternating pattern. You can start to see the pattern forming. So the next row, we will start with the first two cords and go across the same way. Left over right, under, and pull, and we want to leave that space here and start a third row and then go right across. You ready? Next two, left over right, and pull. Start making this pattern. Next two, left over right, and pull, just like so. Left over right, and pull. Left over right, and pull. Keep checking this pattern. You can see it forming now. Left over right, and pull. All right, great. Let's finish this line. Okay, this line is done. It's good to check these holes and try to kind of make them even and this line even. If it's uneven, for example, if this one is way up here, you just put your hand in there and just scoot it down, like so. All right, you continue that alternating pattern until this is about 4 inches long. So the next line, the next row, we will skip the first cord and use cords 2 and 3 and do the same thing across. I'm taking the first two cords because the last line started with 2 and 3. So we want to secure these. And then we're going to secure each consecutive next pair of cords. So we're going to take both of them together and make an overhand knot. So go up and around, and in through with both cords together, like so. And then let's look at where it is. So we want to knot it in the good spot. So we start tightening it. And then we want to tighten it right below, kind of almost like it's the next line of a row, the next row. So tighten that good. All right, let's see here. Up. All right. And there. And then the next two, I'm going to take it and do the same thing. Up and around and through. This will secure it really good. And then pull it about the same spot. The other one right next to it. Tighten it good, like so. The next two, over and around and through, and then just continue the overhand knots until you have each set tied. Okay, you can see how this looks, this pattern. And we'll cut the ends off of, cut the cord off the end here. Going across. Okay, finish that up. Now we are going to, oops. All right, we can fold it in half, like so. Ta-da, and then all right, and then take these two cord ends and over and up and around like before. And we're gonna do that twice though. Oop. Like this. See that, start making a tube for the, and then over and around again. To secure this spot. Oh, it's a long cord. Could probably cut that. And then, all right, once that's done, we can take one of the ends and we are going to weave to close up this. This is going to be the top because it looks nice and neat. See how nice and neat that looks? We're going to take one of these ends and weave the side and the bottom. So here we go. I'll show you one of the ends. Here we are. So here we go. We have it folded in half. So in through this end hole, and then let's see here, in through the top, in through there, and pull it through like so. And then take that end and go through that same spot one more time. Let's see here, right in through there one more time. You can almost just like push it right in through there. And pull. There, you can see that formed right around that end. So that part is secure. So now we want to do that all the way down. So we take the end, find the next two spots, which would be, let's see here, this one and this one. Go over and around again, over around, take the end cord, go through, go through, go through. See, I'm through both those here. Okay, and pull. Ta-da! So we did that. That is secure. Okay, now we can go do that in the next two loops. Pull this over this way. Here's the next loop. And then where's the next loop on the next section? Let's see here. Right, where did we already do? We already did there and there. See, it's so the next ones would be here and here. So you can hold them together if you like, if that's easier. Oh, it actually is. See, it's pretty easy to hold your fingers right in there. Bring that up around and then put them right in through. Might take you a moment to figure out where the next loops are. See how that's securing that closed? Okay, let's see where we are now. Do we have any more loops to go through? Okay, I think we can go through this last little loop here, over and around. There's a last loop at the end, and then pull good. All right, make sure these, okay, and then, so yeah, we're at the bottom. So go up and around and through that last part one more time, and then you can knot this. Go up and in through that loop you made so it knots together, and pull. So underneath it'll just have, let's see here, mine didn't, so So okay, make an overhand knot right in that spot. Right in that spot so it ties good. So over and around through there and pull it tight. All right, you want it to, mine actually, you know what, I'm gonna undo that because you know what didn't happen? It didn't go around the cord that we're looping through. So that's what I want to happen here. I want to make sure, there, it's going around that cord we're looping through. So in through there, like that, and pull tight. There, now that will stay secure. That will stay secure. Now, might want to fluff it up again. So, you can see that pattern we made, that nice loose pattern. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing on the bottom. Look at this front. Isn't that cool looking? Isn't it cool? This top part can be cut off so it's not confusing, this top loose cord. We just need to do the bottom, around the bottom here. So let's see here. We have the overhand knots that we tied. So we can go in through the top of these overhand knots on each side. There's one on the bottom and one on the top that line right up. So we can line them up, go right down in through that. See how I have this bottom one and the top one? Okay. So you line them up, go right in through there, and pull through there. Good. Okay. And then do the same for the next two, and this will also keep these from pulling up too. Let's see here. So we're down in the bottom, so we can go up through this time. Up through this time. And then next two is here and here. And then down through this time. Okay. It's kind of like a weave. And then up through. Let's see, let's find these ends of the last two and go up through here. And then, all right. Now we're going to want to secure this end. And then your sleeping bag will be complete. You can cut these ends off closer if you would like, but first let's secure this end. So how would we do this? See this? You can tie it right around these two little knots here. Pieces of cord that are overlapping. So go up and around again through there, up in through that hole. So there's a lot of big holes in this, which helps. You can see how that looped around. So then you just go in through. You just want to make sure the knot is around that structure, the cord that is part of the sleeping bag, so it secures itself. And then pull tight, real tight, because there. And then you want to cut it. You can cut it shorter than that if you want, but I'm just showing you where it is so you can see it. And you can pull it in there if you want, inside. All right, now let's look. Ta-da! There's a sleeping bag. And then, it's funky looking, isn't it? It's fun. Oh, and you can, let's see, let's look back. Look at this. I think I would like to trim my bottom to look a little neater, a little different than that. I'm going to cut it even closer. You can put craft glue on these overhand knots, wherever you have overhand knots, if you would like. Really just the ones that secure, like the bottom and the one we just weaved in through. is enough to glue if you want to. There. Let's look at it now. This is what it looks like. Oh, I think someone is excited to try this. Okay. All right. Oh, she puts her hair aside. This one's not glued, so I'm just going to put it aside on her chair over here. And then she is ready for a nap. Nice and snug.